What is going on, guys? Danny here and welcome to another video. So in this one I'm going to be taking you through my most recent project, which was where I made this pull-up station so that I had a place from home where I could practice all of my calisthenics, most in particular muscle ups, because they definitely need a lot of work, but just to have an addition for my workouts, and to be honest, is one of the best things I've made. Just to note, I did get this idea and design from another YouTuber that I saw, and I will leave a link to his video in the description, so go check that out. However, what I did do was modify his design and actually built mine differently to make it stronger and better. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. Right guys, so I ordered two 4.8 meter lengths of 6x2, which I've chopped in half here and here, and then we got two 4.8 meter lengths of 2x4, which I've chopped in half there. Just going to finish this one. First of all, I laid the 6x2s on the ground and then measured 4 feet apart from each corner of the bottom of the triangle, which is eventually going to connect to the base of the frame. I then overlapped the two ends, keeping as much length as possible, and then marked them. Using another piece of wood as a straight edge, I then used this to mark the bottom of the frame to get the right angle for when it connects to the base. Once I'd cut the first bit of 6x2, I then used it as a template to mark the other pieces of 6x2 to make sure that I was keeping the same angle. Once I'd finished cutting all 4 pieces of 6x2, I then laid 2 pieces on the ground to reflect the first side of the frame, aka the triangle, and then used another piece of wood as a straight edge to mark the bottoms where it's going to connect to the base. I then transferred these markings onto a piece of 4x2, which would be the third and bottom side of the triangle. I then used the first one as a template to mark and cut another one exactly the same length. Because of the way the two longer sides of the triangle overlap, I then added another piece of 4x2 at the bottom on the other side, creating a thicker, sturdier base. I then connected it all up with some 3-inch screws, with some more to be added later. Once the first side of the triangle was finished, I then repeated the same steps for the other side. Once I had both sides built, it was time to move on to the base and try not to slip over in the ice. I then used 2 pieces of 4x2 together to replicate the bottom of the frame that I just built so that I could mark out the base. Just to note, the longer piece of 4x2 which is on the ground, once I've cut, was due to be the same length as the pull-up bar. Once I had all 4 pieces cut, it was time to fix them up using some 3-inch screws. With a little help from my son, it was time to connect the base pieces to the two triangles. Now most of the hard work was done, it was time for the pull-up bar. Well, the first steel bar that I ordered turned up like this, where I think the postman had cracked someone around the head with it, so it had to go back. I also ordered a box of 3/4 inch steel flanges, and managed to get a box of 10 off eBay for about £10. Once I finally had my replacement steel bar, I cleaned it up with some sandpaper to get it ready for spray paint. To spray the bar, I used an all-in-one black metal paint and primer. Using a 3/4 inch paddle bit, I then drilled through the two sides of the frames, making way for the bar. Here's where things started to get a little bit tricky, because the hole I drilled was so tight, and it wasn't easy to bore out either. I managed to somehow get the bar stuck in the side of the frame, which unfortunately, as we ran out of light, had to wait another day. With a little bit of grease and some help from my good old friend the kettlebell, that's right, the kettlebell, I finally managed to get the bar through. I then screwed the two flanges to the frame using 3-inch screws. It was now time to give it a test. One of the main reasons that I built this pull-up station was so that I had a place to practice muscle-ups from home. The only issue was I needed something to weigh it down to stop it moving, so I decided to use some concrete blocks. The other cool thing about this pull-up station is that it gave me a place so that I could hang my rings off and practice my ring muscle ups, as well as a whole bunch of other exercises. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that it gave you some ideas for your own creations. Feel free to drop me a like or a comment, and as always, if you want to see more, please subscribe, and I'll see you again on the next one.